Technically speaking, what you don't understand about life is that you do not manage life. It's a very ridiculous thing to say to you. But you don't breathe. Your 30 trillion cells, 10 trillion cells dancing into 30 trillion cells, change in 72 hours, you don't manage them. Your blood goes through your veins and artery. Do you do rotor-rooter once in a while? That's angioplasty if needed be. Normally every day you don't do a thing. Your life is 80% automatic. It's run by the unknown. 10% is objective, where you participate right, and 10% is subjective, you participate wrong. So 10% cut down 10%, so 80% automatically goes on. And that's a fact. Mostly you are blinded by your emotions. Because once you are emotional, you can't judge a situation. Your assessment is wrong. You're not realistic. Like a mother. If the child is crying, doesn't matter what other important thing she is doing, she is into the child. You understand what I mean? It doesn't matter what is happening. And suppose a man in an office is having a very important conversation. Doesn't matter what happened in the room even, he's into that conversation. Exactly, they call it meditation. And meditation is nothing when you concentrate your idea of mind into creative thought of whatever kind it is. And that is life. As far as I'm concerned, when I landed in Los Angeles, I had a polka dot red pink turban and a strapped pant and a shirt you will never believe. And I tell you how much I knew. One day I went to clean my shirt in the laundry, and they told me if I put 25 cents and shirt and that thing, that some kind of powder kind of thing into it, and leave it there, then pull it out and put in a dryer and it'll be clean. I thought easy. So I went there and I put that. Machine was very kind to me. When machine stopped, I had a big pulp in my hand. There was nothing. I don't know what happened. Either that powder was too much or the machine ate it up. So I came without shirt in my undershirt back, and they said, what happened? I said, the machine cleaned it permanently, my shirt. As far as food is concerned, we were always provided somehow or the other. And it used to be on time. Now it is not. Try to understand that. Now sometimes I have to yell and scream, come on, bring, I'm hungry, I need a food. At that time it was never a chance. It was on time. So certain little things started happening in a very unique way with all of you. All of you who have left, who are with me, or who shall be with me, or who shall leave me. They were all very important to play a role in forming the 3HO, a lifestyle of the age of Aquarius, a lifestyle where human shall be nothing but purely human first and will do everything graciously around itself. And that was my idea. My idea was actually what provoked me to come here was not actually America and American dollars, to be very honest, and not you and your environments. I was very well settled. There was nothing to it. What provoked me to come here was that I did not somehow wanted to go to Russia. It used to be a Soviet Union. And it was a very beautiful plot in which I was going to be put in, because the knowledge I have, nobody has. So they wanted me to get to that. So I thought, it's better to run to Canada. So I had good contacts. I knew the ambassador. He used to be called High Commissioner. And we managed, and I resigned, and very fast I left. I came to Canada. And in Canada it didn't work out much because it was very cold. But in 2 months or some days I remained in Canada, I hit the front page of Globe and Mail, which is their biggest paper. So I walked on the snow with newspaper tied down around my foot because I didn't have a shoe and my feet are very wide, nothing fits normally. That's why we built a factory, shoe factory. I mean, it's not that we have been not real cautious about things, lest they may not happen. I am very rich, I am very grateful, and you are part of that richness. That's my real richness. But believe me, as I came with nothing, I shall leave with nothing, and I own everything as nothing. It shall belong to the generations to follow and generations to come. And I've just played a role as a custodian and a caretaker. I've taken ownership with a great perfection, and my basic idea is very simple. Don't let down anybody, don't let down yourself, and don't participate directly or indirectly in any letdown, even in conversation. That's the practice I have. And second is I do two things. I'm very straight and simple, and when I'm diplomatic, and it's unfortunate for the other person, I say it with a smile. But when I am teacher, I am very, very rude. I can chisel a person to death, because then it's my fight against the misfortune of the other person, and I can see it. To me, it is slaying the dragon, and I don't hesitate to do it. So, when I'm very cruel, it's a very simple system. There's no relationship between stone and a chisel, and that's the relationship between a student and a teacher. And you may not understand as Western what a teacher is. Teacher has no investment in his own life and his environments and in his greatness except a great student of tomorrow. You must understand that. Teacher greatness is not how great teacher is. Teacher grace is not how vast he is. Teacher greatness is not how happy and wealthy and how many people serve him and how many people adore him and how many people like him and how people dislike him, how powerful he is. That all I am. That doesn't make any sense. The only sense which makes to a teacher is, will there be a teacher tomorrow which will be 10 times better than me? That is all what it matters. And if that is not done, then the legacy of the golden chain breaks. In our legacy of Kundalini Yoga, a student has to be 10 times better than his teacher, period. And it's very simple. There is a bhakti way, a devotional way of doing it. You become zero, the one God will be with you, you become 10 times better. That's a bhakti way. Shakti way is resurrect your consciousness through the system and participate personally with everything and decide everything impersonally. That's another way. Participate personally, very personally, but decide very impersonally. Because when you personally decide something, you are the worst sinner and ugliest and dirtiest human being on the earth. because you took away somebody's personality which was given to that person by God, and you have directed that personality for which you have no right. Do you understand how many times we do these blunders, that we interfere in people's life personally? When you have to let something go, let it go with grace. When something come to grace. And there's one simple thing in your life you should understand. Take it granted. You give anybody something or not, you share with anybody something or not, you be kind to anybody or not, but do not ever, do not let your grace fall apart. And there's a simple formula for it. Whenever you're doing anything, just remember, does it serve your grace or it doesn't? If it serves your grace, that's fine. If it serves somebody's grace, it is wonderful. If serves nothing, don't participate. You did not create anybody. God is creation of all. And if you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. Wrong and right is a matter of judgment. There's nothing good, nothing bad. Thinking make it so. And it's a stimulated thinking. Certain things we don't like, certain things we like, certain things are good, certain things are not good. And certain things happens, and there are majority of the things which are beyond human conception and control. Try to understand that. Because your life has to move. Life is a momentum. It is a biorhythm. And it has a fear of placement and displacement. And until you are not above it, you cannot but suffer. Suffering doesn't come from any quarter. Suffering is yours. God has given you length. Life is to create width equally with that length. If you cannot do it, there's no way that you can survive in your life happily. That's why we started healthy, happy, holy way of life. And that is, folks, became 3HO. It is a dream come true. It was a very pure path in which there was no human worship, but every human was worshipped equally. There was no teacher. Everybody was to be a potential teacher. There was no yes and no, but there was a set discipline to follow. Sometime you may understand why our discipline is so strict. I'm very sorry to tell you, it's a very simple gimmick which you should know very clearly. Life is X amount of energy, and if it's not channeled properly, you will never cross the channel. And when you are making life left and right, and it becomes exhausting, then a lot of things are very difficult to understand. Majority of the people are very numb. They have no feelings. They are so numb. What they hear, they don't hear. What they see, they don't see. What they feel, they don't feel. They are like volcanoes. Their inner emotions are broiling them, and that's all they know. Am I insulted? Am I not insulted? Am I respected? Am I not respected? Am I liked? Am I not liked? I'm real? I'm not real. Somebody loves me? Nobody loves me. Am I lonely? Anybody? It is such a fluke that all the beauty and joy of life which is meant to be enjoyed is wasted in these wasteful thoughts. Why? Because these people are very, very far away from God. They do not understand a simple rule of the thumb that this planet belongs to God and everything on this planet belongs to God, including their existence. So whatever happens, good or bad, is all God's will. No, what about your free will? Just look and enjoy. That's all. That's all you have. You don't have more than that. See, somebody's loss is somebody's gain. Somebody's success is somebody's failure. Somebody's marriage is somebody's divorce or potential non-availability. Look at it. Your children will grow up one day. If you train them well, give them good wings, they will fly better. If you don't, they will fall apart. So is your work, so is your future, so is your existence. In my capacity as an individual, I believe not in the goodness of the heart and goodness of the person. It doesn't fit with me. I believe with the greatness and the excellence of the human. I don't see a human acting from normal spiritual belief. We are the sinner born in sin and we have to do our karma and we have to do this and we have to… Really, as a religious man, I agree that's what the religion teaches and I salute those who teach this. But I have no part of this nonsense. Absolutely not. Zero. My belief is very simple. God has created me and He damn couldn't do anything better than what I am. Period. Call it anything. And that's exactly what it is. If the perfect Almighty God could have done something better, He would have done definitely. Why not? Is He limited? If somebody is nuts, let's put it this way, somebody is nuts, somebody is neurotic, somebody is short-tempered, somebody is wrong, and let's say there is a bunch of them, hallelujah, you look wise if you are not part of that. Life is a comparative study. There's no reality in it. Life is a comparative study. If you have a caliber and you have intuition, and you have a caliber and intuition, and that gives you grit, stamina, you can make it anywhere. If you don't have intuition, you don't see anything. You're blind, permanently blind. And if you have no caliber developed, then you cannot expand, you cannot even recognize what you're dealing with. And then you don't have a stamina to fulfill it, then all those two things are useless. Then you're a dead duck. And all three is what human is meant for. And give all three is Kundalini Yoga. Open up the chakras, take care of the tattvas, and control the gunas. Call it any way you like it. It's not a big deal. To be healthy, happy and holy does not make more work than to be unhealthy, unhappy, and unholy. What is holy? You have 9 holes, control them. See what goes in and out. You are holy. You have 2 eyes. See with the 3rd eye. See between the 2 eyes, the center point of everything. That's the 3rd eye. Look what you should be looking, not what you are looking at. Is that understood? Look what you should be looking, not what you're looking at. Be what you should be, not what you are. Every moment of life you should be what you ought to be, ought to be, ought to be, ought to be. There's no other way. If you swing and sway, you shall be miserable. It shall not make any sense. Majority of the actions you do, many of the things you do, they do not do anything. You don't understand one thing. All you is satisfy your emotions. That's all. And all this lifestyle and lifetime you spend on satisfying your emotion will be enough to kill you. Everybody has to die, folks, but some shall die fulfilled and many without it. That is the tragedy being human. Die you must, not as rich, but rich is good. Not as great. If you're great, that's good. Die fulfilled. When you die fulfilled, you shall be grateful, being you. So far, through all this age, time, and reality, we have not learned one thing. And that's a very simple thing. I be I. And I can confirm that I am I. You believe that human have 3 sides to it. One is the elementary side, other is the working side, third is the fantasy. But people are not original. You won't meet one person who is realistically or religiously original. Everybody has shields and guards. So who is talking to who? And which side of the person you are talking, and which side of the person you are loving, and what you are trying to convince, and what you are trying to say, and what relationship is based on. As a psychologist, sometimes I counsel people and analyze a lot. I have found out every relationship is based on one thing. That is individual's emotional security. There's no thing called love. When there's a love, there's no question. Where there's a question, there's no love. And now people are talking unconditional love. I don't know what unconditional, but what is conditional to begin with? Love conditional does not exist. Somebody once said, I have met a beautiful woman. He said, describe. How is she? Oh, she has 16 legs and 28 hands and 19 heads. He said, you must have seen a demon. It can't be a woman. You know what I mean? Conditional love is evil. Conditional love is ugly. Conditional love is a messenger of death. Those who love each other conditionally are killers. They are not human. Animals are better than you as humans because they have impulsive love. And impulsive love can be understood. Conditional love cannot be, because love is God, love is infinity. And how can you define the infinity? That's the problem. And actually, to be very honest, the idea being a human is to find one's own infinity. Idea in a human is not to find survival. Birds survive, fish survive, trees survive, stars survive. What do you want to know what survives? Everything survives. What is not to survive is not going to survive, whatever you may do. All this is meant to be time and service. That's real. It's called law of change. You have to take a bath because the molecules have changed. You have to clean yourself. You have to feed because body needs the energy. You have to exercise. You have to walk. You have to sit down. You have to lecture. You have to do duty. You have to go to work. All this is just to keep you busy. Because human mind is so humongous, so powerful. If it has no continuous work pattern, it will go crazy. It will go loose. So that's why they say work is worship. Work keeps you in the lane. It will keep you in the trend. It will keep you in the trace. It will keep you going through everything. So everything is a work. But those who worship work are exalted, and this is called karma yoga. Those who do work impersonally, that's called Dharma yoga. You know, when I came in the United States, it was not written on my billboard, I'm a yogi. And if you would have seen me by appearance and existence, you could never believe that this man is a good man. Forget about being God's man. For years and years, I was in a state of shock. I'm a father of the Woodstock nation and the tribes and the clans and the evolution of 60. I went through the hell and heaven of it. $20 million Americans revolted in consciousness. 20 million Americans revolted in consciousness. 1 million survived, out of which one is THO. Do you understand how much sacrifice has been given to create this, what we have today? I have seen beautiful, youthful, teenagers, girls dead on the trails because of the cold. And when identified, they belong to the families which has mentions. Why they were out in the cold? I have seen people going to the mall and eating the garbage when they can go in a house and have a silver arrangement done to eat. What happened to America? America wanted a change, and the conscious slavery, America consciousness was slave. America wanted conscious freedom. That's why came all these hallucinogenic drugs and all that stuff. Not that Americans wanted it. That's not true. Americans wanted something to break through that norm. Americans wanted to do something which is not regular. Americans wanted not to wear ties. They didn't want to wear three-piece suit. The American understood that external values are so powerful that there's nothing internal which means anything. So they wanted something internal. So they went extreme the other side. In that extremity of duality and crossroad fire and tragedy in America, somehow I appeared and I started saying, there's a normal, harmonious, natural way of doing it. This is not right. Nor that is right, nor this is right. Let us take the middle road and exalt ourselves. Excellence is the human right. And that is how, folks, we built a foundation called 3HO Foundation, Healthy, Happy, Holy Organization of People. And the first song I sang, we are the people, people of love. Let us people love today. And we made the lyrics. And when I used to drive in lonely snow of Canada, I used to sing this, one day the day shall come when all the glory shall be done. I knew that there shall be a great glory because I knew it was the will of God. And I knew I have only to serve it. So I am very grateful to you today to participate with me, left and right. I know majority of the people are angry with me and they couldn't continue with me. But also, they played their role, they played their part. They tried to manipulate, they couldn't, It's very difficult. I'm very boring because I'm missionary. Missionaries are very boring. They're very fast to their own objectivity. They do not fall apart left and right. Every human has a mind. So long as you have a mind, you have a mission. And mission has to be motivated by your attitude and manner. Because every mission has a great magnitude. And it's very important to you. To me, there is only one important thing. Let me tell you in one line. My basic belief is, God made me, He couldn't do better than this, and happiness is my birthright. And this cannot be taken away. So, technologically and knowledgeably, if you understand these few little things, you can be contained, content, and continuous, and not be competing, comparing, and confused. And consciousness. These few little things. Be straight, simple, and do it with a smile if you cannot do it effectively. I am very effective. I am very, very personal when I have to. Normally, I smile, I use logic, I use reason, I tell people what to do, I request, sometimes I order, sometimes I yell, sometimes I scream, I use all human tactics. The basic idea is to work it out. Because when a person falls, teacher falls with it. Teacher has no other fault. It's the fault of the student, which is the evidence of the teacher. It's called impotence or non-effectiveness. Person has traveled the distance to come and meet the teacher. Now this is how it is. This is the law of karma. When soul got the body, God promised, you shall meet your teacher for a moment. That's the promise which God has to fulfill. He never said that you will stick with him or her, whatever the case is. He never said that that person will continue teaching you. That was not the thing. You shall meet for a moment your teacher. So, distance is there, destiny is there. You travel the distance, you meet the teacher. You recognize or you not, that's your choice. You miss it. If you recognize, then comes two things. You worked it out or you didn't work it out. That's your choice. You accept or you deny. That's your choice. You obey or you disobey. That's your choice. Because law of Dharma is obey, serve, love, and excel. Now, there are a lot of unfortunate things about things. Some teacher take away the money, some teacher take away a lot of things from people, and students have a lot of complaints. But neither there is a student nor there is a teacher. There's a law of destiny. Teacher doesn't become teacher. Teacher is destined to be a teacher, and student doesn't become student. Student is destined to be a student. And whosoever is destined to be a student shall become great master. That is the only law which God cannot change. That's the only law which shall prevail beyond the existence of Almighty. That is the only law through which there is a human history recorded where God came and served the man, and man became greater than God. God commands all the time, He's Almighty, but there are incidents that great God was commanded by man. Then God obeyed. There are great incidents and examples where man changed the written law of God. And there's a saying in the scripture, not given by the man of God cannot be untied by God. Not given by God can be untied by man of God. राम की बांधी भगत छुड़ाए, भगत की बांधी कोई ना. If a man of God puts a knot on something, it cannot be opened by anybody. Why? Because that one lonely God wants to prevail through all, and somewhere to prove to himself, he takes a body, and that's called incarnation. It's a privilege to be divine and let duality go once in a while. You must understand, there is not a one person I have met in my life, and you must have to understand the same, who wants to be bad. Nobody wants to be bad. But there are people bad. Everybody wants to be super good, but there are not people good. What is the problem? Caliber. People try to be good and try to be great, but they forget to develop caliber. The old sages developed the science of Kundalini Yoga to develop the caliber of the human in fastest, smallest time. And they developed the science that human can have endurance. So human can walk tall against calamities. So folks, just remember, 25 years ago I came I even didn't know what Los Angeles is and where it is. From Canada, I landed in Chicago, and from Chicago, I was put in a plane and landed in the airport, Los Angeles. And I was picked up by a friend, and that's all how it began. There was no great intention to become a great yogi. There was no great intention to teach great Dharma. But there was one thing which was very urgent. You come from Judo Christian background. According to the Indian Swamis, you are untouchables. You don't know this. Yeah. You are scheduled caste, you are untouchable, you are lowest of the lowest of the lowest. You may think you are the great and all that, forget it. But to them, you are just nothing. So, I used to work in customs. And in those beautiful nights and during the days, I used to find you guys coming all Western with full of money. And then being there for months and months and going back to America, Europe, everywhere, penniless, and you learn nothing. I saw that for year after year, day after day, week after week, month after month. I say, what these crazy people are? I mean, they just come, they bring thousands of dollars, they earn nothing, they go back. They're not even visitors. They're not even tourists. How crazy these people are. There must be some need. So when an opportunity arose, I said, well, one day I'll go to the West and I'll create teachers who will come and teach the Indians. And God's grace, today we are real. And dream is not a dream anymore, it is true. An ordinary American student can teach any Indian great Swami and a yogi and a saint and a sage the science of Conditional yoga to the extent that it can give an experience. And that's real. I definitely happily feel and healthily I am in environments. And wholly I feel that that dream which I had come true. If all the knowledge which is recorded in 25 years, anybody can pick it, that can be a man of a super acknowledgement, excellent, which cannot and shall not be challengeable by anybody. Because I brought knowledge and I left it there for you. With the practical experience, we call it classes. There's no idea, you must understand. We don't initiate anybody, we don't welcome anybody because we don't reject anybody. We don't personally, emotionally involve people because we do not reject them later. People come, they work it out, sometimes they don't have a caliber and they flip-flop, or they go, or they come, or they stay, or they take a part, or they take a whole. It's a very funny word. But the caravan of knowledge continues. It's very good. These things are very natural. You know, there are a lot of things here, it's not only this. So, share with me the most beautiful journey which I have gone through odds and evens of life in last 25 years. I'm very grateful to Los Angeles that I started in Hollywood. Do you know that there was a movie called Wing Cannot Read It by Arthur Rank? And do you know I was supposed to be the main actor of that movie? And do you know, on the completion of the inauguration of the movie, I was supposed to come in Hollywood. Exactly 10 years later, I came. And I wrote a letter to my wife saying, do you understand what arrangements they asked me to have when I'll come here, and figure it out if that exists the same where I am. So I was just 10 years late. Do you understand that? After all, acting is acting. There's no difference. I would have acting as an actor in that movie, and I would have come as acting yogi, the same thing. And I could have been flying in the airlines, going here and there for jobs, and flying here, there to teach. Things don't change much, it's the same thing. But you know, the connection and disconnection is not based on your will. It is based on the electromagnetic frequency of the soul, to which the commanding center is in your shashra, is the pineal. Your life is controlled by the attraction and the radiation of the pineal, and your strength is commanded by the pituitary, and your expansion and contraction is based on your throat chakra. And your great happiness is based on the warmth of your heart. And your grit and endurance is in your navel point. And your reproductivity and recreativity and all prevailing is in your creative organ. And your life elimination, unwanted stuff, which has to go through the black hole, is in your anus. If you would have understood that simple science, you could have been the best human beings, and you are the best. But it runs automatically. You do not pay attention to all this. If you just pay attention to yourself only, you'll find God within you. There is no such thing God outside you. And there is nothing outside you. Let me complete it with one sentence. In the beginning is you, in the middle is you, at the end is you. It cannot change. You can be cheated or conned into certain beliefs. You can be netted in a love and story of that. You can, a lot of things can happen. Dating, baiting, rating are three things I learned in Hollywood. But everything has a pit in it. So everybody cares for rating. And I met those people who even the President of the United States, his rating has gone down, his rating has gone up. What is this barometer there? Because God is three letters, G-O-D, generate, organize, and deliver. What you will not deliver will destroy you. And that is rating. Dating, every day has a date. Be kind to others. God shall be kind to you. Baiting, be compassionate. All the angels shall serve you. And if your bait is ugly, you have a hook in it, all the evils will come on you. Just make it very simple, because life is nothing but going through polarity. Life is nothing but going through polarity. If you go through polarity with duality, you will have so much pain that you'll go insane. True, believe me. I know it. You can't change duality. Everything has every coin has two sides to it. It cannot be one side. There is one God and there is equal Maya. You know how important God is? God cannot create another God. Do you know that? Therefore, law of duality is that there is a law of polarity. Law of polarity is there is a duality. They are interlocked. Cannot change. And every day you date, because every day has a date. Have you dated your day's date? Have you thought that way? No. I asked somebody, I'm going on a date. I said, be careful of the pit, because every date has a pit, and the pit is so hard in a date it can break your tooth. People don't understand what they walk into. If you just make one knowledgeable personal decision, which is yours, not mine, that you shall not walk into any environment or any action which does not enhance your grace, you will never be disgraced. Doesn't matter what the world does to you. That's the law of unison. Kindness, compassion, and caring are the three laws of Sikh Dharma which I have learned, and this is Dharma. Be kind, be compassionate, and be caring. And don't do this drama to exploit. Kaal khaye kuch hathon de, Nanak sach puchane se. Work through the hard labor and then share. Don't take away everybody's share and feel good, oh, I can't him. That doesn't work. One who does not know how to earn one's own living does not know living. There are certain set principles for which you need consciousness and intuition and your talent. And now we are going to try for a few minutes how good we are at that. Not much, we'll take only 9 minutes. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Are you ready? After 25 years, we'll teach the class exactly as we started in the early 60s. Be with me. Ready? It's a very simple Kriya. Let's see how you do it. Accurate? Please sit with a straight spine. Lock your fingers, index fingers, and put it right there. And please take this finger and put it back there. Remember this exercise? And the lining must be exactly 60 degrees. That is the ray of the sun. You don't have to do anything. Let there be no bent in the elbow, that's one condition. Stretch straight and sit properly in this posture, please, and close your eyes and roll them deep down. Hey, hold on. Who else is coughing too much? I think everybody's coughing these days in whole Los Angeles. All right, folks, close your eyes and roll them and fix them on your moon center, the chin. You have nothing to do. This is your birth breath. This will change the entire nuclear system and will energize the neurons. Index finger, the Jupiter should be straight, but the arm should be 60-degree back and front in absolute exact condition. Eyes must be rolled as you are totally fixed at your chin, the moon center. And sit straight and let the body go through the changes. I'm just repeating the first workshop. There were only 3 students in that workshop. Almost time is correct. Elbow should be stretched. That's one principle, because there are meridian points in the elbow which joins all the energy points back and forth. So if you keep your spine straight and stretch it hard, chin in, chest out, you will have the enjoyment. Eyes rolled down and brought to the concentrate at the moon center, that is called chin. Human equivalent of moon center is chin. Stretch harder, because Gyan, knowledge, is Jupiter. That's the first center to work it out. Some of the time it can happen your back hand and the front hand does not make a straight line. That shall be wrong. Otherwise there's nothing wrong. It's the simplest exercise. They both have to be in the same line. 60-degree angle. Nirmal, the back hand is too low. Good girl. Yeah. Now, see? See, girl, the difference? Huh. Now the second part of it is, please release your pinky and make it straight too. And stretch it. Keep the posture. Majority of you will have the back hand little lower in angle, and that is a hurdle. But if you put it in a straight line and keep it that way, you will be healthy like a oxen, they say. It will give you health. It will change your molecular system. It's a very simple thing. What you are doing, it looks very simple, but reality is you are bringing the earth and the heaven together in one unison, else is you. I'm pretty fast. I'm not even giving you long time. Because I know in this, though it's the best exercise in the world, people always falter in making their both arms straight. That's the only fault in this. Once that can be conquered by a human, you don't need a thing. Well, now just open up your 5 fingers straight up and 5 fingers straight down and do it. Eyes rolled at the moon center chin, and body must be squeezed to the best. Breathe normally or long or short, whatever you have to do, but keep the body like totally squeezed. Totally squeezed from toe to top, every part of it. Come on, kill the disease in the body basically. This Kriya, as they say, in 40 days can change the molecule structure. Stretch and squeeze. Put your whole, you want life, apply life, invest life. You're not going to get life without putting life into it. There's no such thing. Nothing is free. Breathe and squeeze and stretch, God. 3 things you have to do. You have 1 more minute to go though. And this is the best minute of your life. 1 honest minute. 1 honest minute. 45 seconds. Stretch, squeeze. "30 seconds. "15 seconds. Try for God's sake, just for experience, not to do anything else. Stand by, inhale deep, hold tight, keep doing what you are doing. Let the breath go. Inhale deep, hold tight, let the breath go. Now this is the final chance. You have done wrong throughout. Inhale deep, 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 deep. Squeeze and stretch to the absolute limit of yours. Relax. Watch is my witness. We didn't take 1 minute over. If sure, this back hand and this front can be exactly as mine is for 3 minutes, and total is 9 minutes, only changes in fingers, you can change the molecule structure of your body. That much effective you can be. It is also called longevity Kriya, for a long life. Some of us like us, we don't want to live long. But those who want to live long and go through the hell and heaven of it, they can do it. 9 minutes you sit down in absolute posture and do it. First do it with the index finger, then release the mercury finger, then release all the fingers and go ahead. Last 3 breaths you have to hold to expand your prana, and game is over. Do it for 40 days. You will never regret it.
So are the fingers straight in line with the arm?
Yeah, absolutely. No. Straight. Straight is straight. No, not up. Yeah, straight. It is a straight, it is just straight 60 degree. Because the sun hits the earth in the ambrosial hour 60 degree, and at evening, the twilight zone, sun is 60 degree to earth. And moment a human form this, then sun and moon are in lining, provided the eyes are rolled at the moon center. That's the trick. It's simple science. It's not something that you have to learn from somewhere and know it from somewhere else. And this is sometime when you practice this, I have seen in my own experience that somebody was to live about 10 years, the guy is still alive. It's called longevity Kriya, Navjivan Karma Kriya they call it. It's a very long name. It gives you new life whenever you do it. And please, for God's sake, don't do it more than 9 minutes. Yeah, that's the time limit too. I mean, it's not something, let us not repeat the 60s. We used to use Kundalini Yoga for 6 hours straight. And then it took about 2 weeks to come down, you know. Remember those days? Those were the days. In Boulder University, Boulder, Colorado, we started Kundalini Yoga, and I left thinking that class is over. Then another teacher took over, another teacher took over, and when I came back in the evening, class was still on. Well, fine. And I said, disperse it, this, what is you doing? And there was no dearth of gathering people, you know. It was, I will stand somewhere, there will be people. So I said, stop this is no good. Too much we have done. And then one day, that university man came and he said, these people are not moving. I said, they are in ecstasy. He said, what is that? I said, it will take time to come down. So then we gathered other clans and other friends and whatever you want to call them, and lifted a lot of them to safe places. I mean, that is how powerful a man can be. And once you have experience of that width, you can enjoy what is word called in English ecstasy. That's why Kundalini Yoga is called Yoga of Awareness, because it gives you the experience of ecstasy within you, not outside. It's not that I have not learned and a lot of things. I know pretty good things. Smart guy, but I am very smart, believe me. There's nothing wrong to be smart. But art to smart is to know the experience, not the knowledge. That's the difference. You must know the experience through the knowledge, not the knowledge. If you have just knowledge, you are just a library bookish, you don't make sense. You understand what I mean? Experience will give you power, it will give you grit, it will give you confidence, it will give you to be you. Somebody once I was counseling and the person said, I have a very private question. I said, what is it? I said, this person I'm in love with, but I hate. 4 or 5 times he said, I hate. I said, well, why didn't you say so? I said, because I'm in love. I said, man, this is the best thing ever could happen. With all the hatred you are enjoying love, see how good it is? He said, I thought so, but I thought so. I think I thought so, yeah. I said, you know, it is a self-esteem, self-control. You know what it is? How much you hate. And I hate. I said, see? But you're not saying it. See how wonderful control it is? Life is an agony when you don't have control. Life is full of joy when you control agony. Life is, when you insult somebody, is a hell. When you respect somebody, it's a heaven. Life is a good thing because life is a gift. Don't be riff-raff with it. May the long time sun all may the let's go back to the Almighty Creator God, the Supreme Consciousness and Player, joy and happiness, in Thy timing and will, all those who have touched, whom we have touched, and who have come and gone in the touch of life as the time and space permitted it. It is our prayer that all be healthy, happy and holy. Give this kind gift to the entire humanity for Thy sake. Be kind and compassionate to the mankind as a caring God and guide them to the path of absolute resurrection so they can find their true self. Is my prayer and prayer of all those people here. And we cannot have words to thank Thee because words are all also Thine, that You have given us to serve 25 years to be healthy, happy and holy, and to create environments and the circumstances in which the knowledge shall flow till infinity. Satnam.